Hello everyone, this is going to be a demonstration of my typing simulator such that you could pretend that you're typing and concentrate on making a coding video while the typing is actually being simulated. So if you've already compiled the code and it's good code, run my binary executable called typesim, then you pass it in your source code, which I've just copied up one directory so that it doesn't conflict with what I'm typing into. So binary executable, source file, run, got 5 seconds, then we click in this other window. If you watch, it's going to type in the contents. And I think it's quite nice when you're watching a coding video to actually see the code appear line by line rather than someone just kind of say, this is what I made earlier and it works. What you could also do is add in more of a delay between each new line, for instance. You could then spend more time talking about the actual code if you want to explain what the code does. So here, for instance, we're using Parser, which gives us a nice help message with options. Any-go, which is what controls the keystrokes, evaluate or validates the keystrokes, and enumerates. Sorry, the clap parser enumerates the options, whether it's a tab or a click and so on. Random, just to give it a bit of human variability for someone who's typing. We've also got thread, standard time duration. I've added some logging into this as well. So the typesim is my lib.rs file, which already exists. So that's where as you can read, the function names are fairly self-descriptive. The clap part is the bit that follows here. So you've got the args path to the file whose content should be typed. So that's the file. So that's the one thing you need to pass in after the name of the binary executable. Minimum delay between keystrokes, maximum delay between keystrokes. And then at the end of a new line, just a slightly longer delay. Simulates thinking. Seconds to count down before typing starts. That is to allow you time to start in one terminal window and then jump across to your other one where you want the stuff to appear. So at the moment, it's this file. So 5 seconds should be plenty, but you could increase that. A lot of this is fakery, just to kind of give the more of a natural appearance of it being typed in. It's all pretty quick at the moment, so I may or may not slow it down and experiment with these values. But ultimately, these timings could be put into a config file, and then you could just modify it to suit. So the function now we're writing is the countdown, number of seconds to countdown, 5 seconds, and then it's got standard out flush, which you need on certain operating systems for it to appear to the screen after each character. Otherwise, it will flush. It could wait until the buffer's full, and then you think that nothing's actually happening. So contents, read to string. We're going to read the source file is an argument which we pass. So then we do file system read to string. And that is a string. And then we're going to, any errors, we're going to map to a string. Any-go, it's available on Mac and Windows as well. So that's the beauty of Rust, is that typically you can compile cross-platform. For the contents in the characters, and the characters are obviously the text file that we've read. We've got return, tab, car, those are the three keyboard actions that we need to have conditions for. If I was to type this and talk whilst recording a video, this would probably take 10 takes and lots of editing. There we go, that's done. So that's typed 113 lines of code. I've been able to talk about it and concentrate. I think this has got a lot of potential. You could create videos. For instance, even if you didn't want to have your face on it like I have, you could actually create the video of the code appearing line by line. Then you could put a pause, maybe 2 or 3 second pause at the end of certain lines or every 10 lines, and then that would allow you to edit the video. You could look out for like a 2, 3, 5, 10 second bit where nothing happens, and that's where you could slice the video. That's when you could, you know, cut to a different scene, talk about it, add a voiceover, whatever. So I think for coding videos, especially, I mean, even for your own benefit, if you wanted to record this and put it on yeah, you could do whatever you want with it. You could put it in the README if you wanted. You can put an MP4 in a GitHub README, which would be quite cool. So yeah, that's the demo. The code itself, I've also got lib file as well. Experimental was just me testing before we did this video. So if I just show you, I'll show you where all the functions live. We've got the enum, so we've got return, tab, and character. So let's see that's the three things that could happen whilst the text is being entered. So you're going to classify them as a return or a tab or a character. So obviously, if it sees a /n or /t, it knows what to do. And then we're just doing lots of conditional logic really to handle the delays, compute the delays. We've got a bit of randomness thrown in as well. And then I've written a load of tests, or with the help of Claude, I got it to do some tests. Yeah, there we go. If you wanted to be really clever, what you could do is you could run trec, which trec is available on GitHub. You can install it, and then you could, let me demo this. Right, so set paste. I think you can set that, or you could on Linux. You could set that. I think you could set that in your ZSHL bash RC file, and then you would not have to keep doing this each time. But just for today, while I'm building this, I'm doing that manually. What we could do is do trec-mn. That's going to start recording. Then I could actually do type sim main.rs. Now I've got 5 seconds, and I jump across to this, which is, again, it's going to pretend to type all the code back in. There's a bit of a thing to watch out for, though. If you do this, you just ideally let it finish, because if you stop halfway and you click to another window, it's going to carry on typing. So I'm just going to quit that there. But what this trec has done is separate to the type sim that I've written. This is this is a screen recording of me typing into terminal. So it also is good because it knows which terminal you're currently in. So if you switch to a different terminal, it carries on recording the correct one. As you can see, I switched from one terminal where I started type sim into this one. And then obviously in a second I did Control C, or I switched to the other one and did Control C. So this should stop any second. Roundabout. No, there we go. So that's trec. Trec is another nice utility. So you could use type sim, which is and trec, which is on GitHub. I forget who did it. Was it? Might have been Sussman. It's just Google for. So there we go. With those two, you could do an entire video. You wouldn't even need OBS. It'd be particularly good if you just wanted to kind of do, especially for documenting, for putting in a README on GitHub, as I say, or just doing a demo of some code being written, which is a lot better than having to actually start OBS and then start typing in a terminal. And then, especially if you're not a fast typist, which I'm not, but you can make sure the code compiles first, and then you can type it all back in real time. Sometimes watching people fix errors is interesting, but other times, if it means the video takes an hour instead of 3 minutes, then that's not so good. So thanks for watching. Thumbs up. Let me know if you'd like this cross-compiled, if you'd like the source code, if you've got any questions about how it works. Just if you want to download the code and compile it yourself, you just need you'll need install Rust, which is a one-liner. I use curl blah 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 .sh, and then you would do cargo B. It's as easy as that. So thanks for watching. Don't be scared off by the fact it's Rust. You can download it and compile it. You won't need to do anything scary. And then it's very robust. It's just a binary executable that you can just leave, never have to worry about again. No memory leaks, no security vulnerabilities. Not unless you switch between screens halfway through when it's typing. But I think that would only be a problem if you did it at precisely the wrong moment and then it dumped a load of bash commands and then you hit enter. So it would take a lot of permutations for that to happen, and it would take for you to press enter on this screen as well. So yeah. Thank you for watching. Thumbs up.